I'm going to transition things to Kim and Larissa, who is one of our customers, and they're going to talk about some of the new sustainability features that Larissa's company is in the process of implementing. And I think you'll be real interested in what she has to say. So here are Larissa and Kim.
So today we are talking about real customers and how they plan to use the sustainability features in Business Central. And with me today is Larissa Harrison. She is the co-founder and director of quality systems and a lot of other things at Bast Fiber Technology. So we're going to talk with her today about that. So Larissa, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, hi, I'm Larissa Harrison. I'm based in Victoria, British Columbia. As Kim mentioned, I'm the Director of Quality Systems, Audits and Programs here at Bast Fiber Technologies, but been in the fiber business, natural fiber business for over 25 years. So I've worn a lot of hats over the years, including sustainability roles.
Right. And I think one of the things that was really cool is we were talking about Wave 2 and the new features, and we started talking about the sustainability objects that were coming out in Wave 2. And I think, Larissa, you were one of our clients that was like the most excited about it. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about Bast and why sustainability is so important to Bast.
Yeah, sure. We process annually renewable agricultural crops like flax, hemp, cotton, and turn them into specialty natural fibers that can be used in kind of everyday products like cleaning wipes, period care, textiles, that sort of thing. So we want to displace plastics in those types of products. So that's what we do. We were started in 2016, a group of like-minded entrepreneurs and investors just to believe there was a better way to create these kinds of products rather than single-use plastic stuff you just throw in the trash. So that's how we came to be. So really, sustainability is the core of sort of what we stand for as a company and what we do. So it's not an add-on for us, it's just who we are.
And so when you looked at the sustainability features in Wave 2 in Business Central, which of those are you thinking about using, and kind of what's your journey been with Labs at what's in there and how you can use it for your business?
Well, yeah, we've looked at it recently. We're excited that the functionality is coming out in Wave 2. For us, we expect to use the sustainability management with the sustainability chart of account, set that up, use the sustainability journal. I imagine we would populate previous year data, so we had some year-over-year numbers, and then just start populating it, setting up our scorecards, setting up our goals. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. What do you feel is missing still from BC to help you in that journey?
Well, I think like right now we have to calculate everything ourselves in separate. We have some tools that we use, and I think what's missing is some automation. Everything looks like we're going to have to manually populate those journals or manually populate the sustainability data on the purchase documents. So it would be great if we could set up some automation. So it would say, if we're purchasing something from a certain vendor, we know how far away they are, we know how they're going to ship it. So we could have some automation there. So say when we buy those goods, it's doing those calculations in the background for us. That would be helpful. If we could tie it into something like Expensify or TripIt and calculate, staff travel, rental cars, hotel stays. That would be good as well, tying into our utility providers, so we can pull in that usage data. I think long term, if we could tie into some sustainability LCA databases that have all those methodologies for calculating various impacts, that would be nice to see. I thought the sustainability certificates feature was interesting, but I'd like to see that go a step further so that for example, we own a lot of certificates. We can process organic cotton in our U.S. facility, but it means we have to manage the there's certificates along the way, and it'd be nice to be able to embed those within Business Central so we could tie back our raw material usage to, say, the cotton gins and the original farmers or farms that it came from, because right now we have to do that as a manual process. So it'd be nice to bring something like that in. I think another area I'd like to see would be non-carbon indicators. So KPIs like water usage, and water recycling within our production, metal recycling, maybe even things like land use tied to the fibers that we're buying, where they're growing, how they're grown. That would be interesting as well. I think the other thing would be on the reporting side as well, where right now it looks like we could report by facility, we could report by category, but I didn't see any functionality report by product. And for us, that's going to be really important, because we can have two similar products that use different raw materials, and there's going to be a huge difference in carbon impacts based on, where was that fiber grown, how was it grown, how far did it come from, etc. So yeah, reporting product wise would be fantastic as well.
And is there anything you would say to somebody that maybe doesn't have a sustainability program right now today and wanted to start one? Like, would you have any tips for them on how to get started?
Well, there are a lot of tools out there. We are certified with EcoVadis, and that's kind of an ESG program. They're looking at our environmental and social impacts and our governance. So we use a tool from them, and that helps us calculate those impacts. We work with some other groups as well that have different calculators, so we kind of manually put it together. But so it's just really getting started. You just have to figure out what methodologies are you using, and then start what do you want to track, and are you going to do just your scope 1? How far out are you going to do it? But I would just start with your what are your key impacts in your business, and then grow it up from there. It's like, I think, regulation is probably coming. So at some point, everybody's going to have to do it. It's good to get started now.
Yeah. And when you say regulations, just for maybe somebody that's not familiar with sustainability, which regulations do you think are going to start being more broadly adopted?
Right now in Europe, large companies have to report on their carbon impacts, their GHG impacts. Those are fairly large companies, but I think by 2027, maybe even smaller companies are going to have to start reporting. If you're publicly traded in the United States and of a certain size, you already have to report that. And it just seems with these kinds of things over time, they just start bringing it down to smaller and smaller entities. So eventually it's just going to become across the board something people do. And for us in the industry we're in, that's just kind of the cost of business. Like, our customers want to see that data, so we just have to be able to collect it and provide it.
All right. So for 2025, what's your sustainability goals or things that you want to achieve for 2025? What's on the docket for you guys?
Well, for us, we've made some improvements in efficiency in some of our facilities, so we want to be able to track that and show those improvements over time. So that would be key, and then just really getting a really consistent baseline so that we can then say, okay, let's look at that baseline and where can we make improvements.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Anything else you would like to say, or any parting words on sustainability?
Well, I mean, that's what we do, so I could always talk for a long time on that. I won't bore everyone with it, but for me, it's always, I think, exciting to see companies look at where they can make improvements in sustainability. So it's nice for me to see that sort of becoming more mainstream, and having Microsoft build this into Business Central, and I'm hoping they'll put some continued resources into just making it more robust.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and that's all we have for today.
All right. Thanks very much.
Love seeing those smiling faces at the end there. So we've got Larissa with us to answer any questions that anybody has. I think while people may be thinking of some questions for her, Larissa, I'd like to just thank you for coming on to present the sustainability features. I just love seeing your passion for the product and how that's working for your company. And I love your little bit of warning for, other companies of what's coming.
Oh, nice, Belinda. So Belinda said Microsoft Fabric is working on an industry solution template for sustainability. That's awesome. Any idea on when that's going to come, Belinda? It's a preview. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Awesome. So that means we can take a look at it. Fantastic. I always love seeing real things in the works, right? With the product. Again, thanks to Larissa for coming on to talk about that.